Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome all of you. I'm having a hard time getting everybody to stop talking because I really love watching everyone visit. But we're going to get this show on the road, and we're going to honor some very special people this evening. Thank you for sharing your time with us. My name is Kim Nelson. I'm the Executive Director of the NDSCS Alumni Foundation. And welcome to the 2017 Alumni and Friends Celebration, honoring our Homecoming Award winners and recognition of our sponsors. There are many wonderful people we will recognize this evening, and each year I'm honored to be standing before you to present these distinguished guests that we'll be meeting tonight. The Alumni Foundation is delighted to have this event because of them, but also because of others. I personally want to take time to thank those that helped get us to this evening. First off, our dining services and our culinary arts program for the wonderful meal tonight. They are always thinking outside the box. Thank you. To the NDSCS current Alumni Foundation Board, please stand. Any board members that are here, if you'd please stand. Thank you for your commitment and time. Our foundation is stronger than ever and moving forward because of your shared talents and, most importantly, your volunteer time. Thank you. To the NDSCS faculty, staff, and former faculty and staff, you give so much of yourself to educate, train, and mentor our students. The future workforce and leaders are bright because of you. This college is a remarkable place. Because you care and have given completely, thank you. If you're a faculty, staff, or a former faculty or staff, please stand and be recognized. To my staff, Barb Ulick and her husband Will, Melissa Wynn and her husband Dan, Tim Newman and his wife Janet, Denise Miller and her husband Perry, and my husband Brian. You guys can all wave. I know you're all in the back of the room, but can you all wave? Thank you for your time, your determination to make the foundation a strong arm for NDSCS, and your commitment to our alumni and friends of the NDSCS. I appreciate you, and I'm very thankful to have you on my team. Alumni and friends, families of NDSCS honorees, thank you for the support you're showing your loved ones and those connected to NDSCS. Your connection and support of each other is obvious by your presence here this evening. We look forward to the long tradition because of you and because of your support. Thank you. Special guests that we have tonight with us, besides our honorees, we have guests that will be honored tomorrow night in the Hall of Fame. We have the 1977 football team that's here, and a lot of them are here. So if you guys would all stand and be recognized. I put them back in the corner and told them they had to be quiet, so we'll see how that works. Also, the other Hall of Fame winners, Orlando Patrick, Scott Roham, and I don't know are any of them here, Andre Smith, Willie Wilson, and Glenn Matthews will all be honored tomorrow night at the Hall of Fame. So congratulations to our Athletic Hall of Fame people. So as I'm visiting this evening, it's always fun to hear where people are from. But I would say tonight is probably one of the nights that we're seeing people from many, many different states. If you live outside of North Dakota, please stand. There you go, people. We have people here from Colorado, Florida, Montana, Iowa, all over the place, Minnesota. And thank you. Thank you for coming back. We really, truly appreciate your time here. Now we need to thank the people that help keep the foundation and the athletic department alive. Those are our sponsors. I'm going to call on Thomas and Tim to come up here and help me with this. We have sponsors that help both the athletics and the foundation, and some that help the foundation, some that help the athletics. They don't get a lot of recognition throughout the year. We try and put them in paper, we put them wherever we can and give them as much recognition, but this is one time throughout the year that we can at least have them come up and be recognized. Our sponsors, before I announce each sponsor, I'd like to read a note from one of them, which is unable to be here with us tonight, and I think this might sum up what the sponsor support means to them and to us. To all the dedicated people of the NDSCS Foundation and Athletics, on behalf of Corner Drug, Paul and Leanne Folden wanted to send a greeting to the Business Sponsors Appreciation Social. The Wahpeton community is blessed to have the North Dakota State College of Science in our midst. NDSCS is a strong core of education in this southeastern college town. Whenever we meet a student, an athlete, a professor, or a coach, we delight in the stories that bring them here to learn, grow, provide for their families, encourage, and mentor young lives. Thank God for America and the freedom to learn, change, and grow. Corner Drug has been a recipient of well-trained and educated students. NDSCS, we are always in your corner. Unfortunately, we are in Lafayette, Indiana, with our grandchildren this homecoming weekend. We are cheering for a win. Go Cats, Paul and Leanne Folden. At this time, we'd like to recognize our sponsors. As I call your name, we would like whoever, if somebody from your business or you are here, and Tim and Thomas are going to help me out with handing them out. And please come forward. Where'd my list go? Okay. Bell Bank. And we'll hold applause till the end, okay? Bremer Bank. If they're not here, just turn them upside down there. Cargill. Comdell. Corner Drug is obviously not here. They just sent their letter. Gate City Bank. Mindak Farmers Co-op. Smith Motors. State Farm, Matt Frederick. Vision Ford. Lane's here. And Wells Fargo Bank. These are foundation and athletic sponsors. Next, we have foundation sponsors. Bell Bank, oops. Bell Bank Wealth Management. Econo Foods. Wear yourself out. Gerger Seed. Industrial Builders. Minn Kota Ag Products. Did you guys flip a coin to see who's coming up? It was the default, huh? Sunray Printing and U.S. Bank. Our athletic sponsors, American Inn, Baymont Inn, Bank of the West, Marvin Windows. He's not here either. NDSCS Enrollment Services. Carmen. OSPTI. Sanford Health. Scott's Electric. Robo Seed Company. Valley Spine Center. WCCO Belting. Brad, you said you were going to be quiet. And the Wilkin Drink and Eatery. Thank you, sponsors. Now if we'd give them all a nice round of applause for what they do for us. Tonight is about many, but most importantly, about these next award winners. Tonight, we are celebrating what we believe within the Alumni Foundation. We believe the next 6 award winners have earned this honor because they truly understand the tradition of success here at NDSCS. We believe words like connect, develop, build, sustain, share, serve, describe who we are and what we do as a foundation. And we also believe these same words describe one or more of our award winners this evening. I have the honor of introducing each of them tonight. Tonight we're going to start with our Alumnus of the Year. We believe build best describes our Alumnus of the Year, Gary Marcourt. Gary began to build his career in 1967, coming to us from South Dakota as a student to NDSCS and a 1969 Agricultural Drafting and Estimating Technology alumnus. Gary is quoted saying, "The State College of Science believed in me and would not let me fail." Gary moved on to become CEO, president of his own company, and build a successful business. He built respect and trust in the community as a leader. He gave his time to teach young students watercolor in his studio in schools. He has been a Rotarian, a public speaker, and most recently serves our country by paying tribute to our fallen soldiers, playing taps at local cemeteries in his community and wherever he travels to. Gary has built rich tradition and we are honored to call him our Alumnus of the Year. Gary, congratulations.
I'm very soft-spoken, so I have to. This is the wrong. Yes, Ken. I called timeout when I was captain of the football team one time because I was thirsty. So don't talk to me about timeout, Ken. Fellow honorees, honored guests, President Richmond, people of the staff of the school, and the supporters of the college, I thank you very much for this. I have to put my glasses on to read this. I'm someone who has always put a name on something. When I was in business, I would give problems a name. I would give issues a name. When we started our business, I said the name of this business is the happiest customers in the world, and everybody's involved in that. So when I sat down to do some notes for this, I was writing the notes, and Joni said, how long do you have to speak? And I said, oh, just 5 minutes. And she said, oh, thank God. So this will be short. But I just want to start by saying we only had 2 kids. And one of them is here. John, my son, is back there. I would like you to stand because I want everyone to see you, the people I am most proudest of in the world. His wife, Christy, my beautiful granddaughter, Isabel, my granddaughter, Rosemary, and my football-playing, Marquardt, thoroughbred, defensive, killer, Jack Marquardt. My wife, Joni, is here. She's a Wapatonian. And I'm so proud of all of them. My first visit to Wapton was when I was in my senior year in high school. My mom drove me up. My high school counselor was also the football coach. His name was Don Fox, and he thought I had a future. I didn't. I was a pretty lousy student in high school. And he sent some films up to Ed Weary and Cliff Hermas. And they called and said, we'd like you to come up and visit. And so I came up, and they had me run around the track and do some stuff. I can't honestly remember what happened. But the next thing I know, they were sitting in an office at the Butte gym, and they were saying to my mom and I, we would really like your son to be on our football team. We think we've got a place for him, and we'd like him to play football here. And that was the first time I ever thought there might be a possibility that I could go to college. I came from a family of meager means and a lot of difficulty. A half hour later, we're in, and I can't remember Liberta. Cliff, what was his name? Herman Liberta's office. He was the administrator or the admissions director. And he was saying, no way in hell. Are you bringing this kid to this school? He's barely going to graduate from high school. And they don't have the means to pay the tuition. It's just not going to work. So we went home. My mom was in tears, and she had higher hopes than I did. I had learned to have low expectations. And a couple of weeks later, I'm in school on a Monday, and I went to O'Gorman High School, and Father Carroll is doing the announcements on Monday, as he always does, and he ended with, well, we have some good news. One of our O'Gorman Knights has been awarded a scholarship to the North Dakota State College of Science, School of Science back then, for football, Gary Marquardt. And I could hear cheers up and down the halls. And I can't tell you what that meant. And so I wasn't going to do this. I owe a lot to Ed and Cliff because they believed in me. And my dad was a World War II vet, fought all the way across Europe in World War II, and he and a lot of my friends were telling me that Vietnam was where I was going to end up. And when you're an 18-year-old kid and you figure that your career is going to be carrying a 50 through a rice paddy, who the hell needs geometry and chemistry? What I needed was football, a beer, and a new girlfriend. Science fit the bill. So I knew that Cliff and Ed had won the argument, but we all knew that Mr. Liberta was right. There were some issues that had to be dealt with. So my first day at Science was like a movie scene. It was a beautiful fall day, walking through the Oval. That's what we called it. I think at some point it was called the Mall, but everyone calls it the Oval because it's kind of geometric, right? And I'm walking by Birch Hall, and Kay Romeran, Mary Melsby, Larry Ziegler, Ivan Gephardt, Bill Fink, Lance Wolf, John Dozak, and lots of other kids are hanging out of those big double-hung windows on the first floor of Birch Hall. And they're shouting out, hey, you guys here for Science? You going to play for the Wildcats? They were so cool looking. I just thought, for Christ's sake, Gary, your life has changed. It doesn't have to be the way you thought it was going to be. Having Don Tobin and the late, great Gary Rogers come up to me hours apart that first day and say they had heard that a kid from South Dakota, a couple of kids from South Dakota, my friend Stan Wheelock, stand up, Stan. Stan and I played against each other in high school, and came and played with each other at science school the same year in the same program. We were both in architectural drafting. But that first day, having Don Tobin and Gary Rogers come up to me and say, hey, we're from South Dakota, and act like we had been friends for life. And since then, we were friends for life. And I was so impressed with the tribute that this community gave to Gary Rogers. So fitting, so deserved, so wonderful. And my friendship with Don Tobin and Gary has lasted all of these years, and I really appreciate them. Anyway, that first Sunday morning, a couple of us were walking to church because we figured that's where you'd meet some girls. So we're heading for St. John's. We don't really know where St. John's is. Oh, and I should start out, like I said, I give everything a title. The title of this is Some Kind of Town. And so we're walking to church, and we're going down whatever street it is over here past Satterley Hall. You head down, and people are out on their porch. It's a beautiful fall Sunday morning, 1967. Any of us who are old can see it. It looks like today, except it was then. And people on their porch are saying, hey, you guys, you going to science? Yeah. You playing football? You're here early. Yeah. Well, good luck, and great to have you here. And I wasn't used to unearned kindness. And we looked at one another and we said, wow, this is some kind of town. These people are amazing. And it happened. It was ubiquitous all the way along the street, all the way down to Dakota Avenue. People coming out of their houses saying, hey, you science school kids? This town, this is not about this college. It's about this community. This town owns, loves, and lives this college. It always has. And it's always been an amazing thing to me. And having Ed Weary come to me in the first day and look me in the eye and say, you know, I put a lot on the line to get you here. And I'm kind of counting on you to get it done in the classroom. It was a magical and scary time. Coaches like Cliff and Bob Yagi and Will Oshock, Al Grage, Sam Schimmelfinnig. I'm sorry if I forgot some of you. It's been 50 years. I've never been old before. I don't know how to do this. So I'm kind of just working my way through. But you know who you are, and you know that you either put my puzzle pieces of my life together, or at least you put them on the table face up and pointing in the right direction. That Sunday morning was a magical time for me. But as a little kid, I had a very difficult childhood. I had many fears. Fear was always with me, and I was not a good student. I did not have a lot of friends, and I did not have a lot of self-esteem. In 8th grade, I played football for the first time, and for the very first time, I faced fear. And I faced it straight up, and I overcame it, and it was a revelation for me. People around me, instead of saying, you're a loser, which I was pretty much used to, said, great tackle. You crushed that guy. We're counting on you. You can get him. And that's what sports means to someone who needs to get their life together and who needs to become something in their life. And I think that the marriage of sports and athletics is really an important thing. It's twisted in a lot of ways when you get to big colleges, but here it was a wonderful thing. As I went through high school, football was the one thing that I loved to do, but a new fear had entered my life, and it was the Vietnam War. I already had friends who were in the war when I was a junior in high school, and my first year at science began, they began to come home dead. A high school friend of mine, Ed Flowers, was just leaving for Vietnam when I headed for science school, and in 2 months he would be dead. He was a Marine. He's on the wall. At O'Gorman High School, I played football. I was one of the very first sophomores to make the varsity. I was frightened to death. Fear was my constant companion, and a fellow named Kirby Doherty, who was a senior, came up to me and he said, forget you're a sophomore, forget they're bigger, forget everything. You can play. You just got to go rock them and sock them, and I'll never forget him saying that. He was a great guy. He was accidentally left behind on his first deployment in Vietnam in the jungle, and he survived what must have been an absolutely horrifying night and was shot in the back running for the helicopter that was rescuing him the next day. We seldom saw each other off the football field But with the day that I was told that he died, I thought, that's my fate. That's where I'm going, and that's what's going to happen. He was always brave. He helped me adjust to the speed of varsity football, and was a iconic figure in my life. He and several other people that I know are on that wall in Vietnam, the Vietnam Wall in Washington. I've taken one of my grandsons there. I hope to take Jack there and my other grandkids there to see them. But that's where I was certain that I would be. I'm so grateful to NDSCS. It's going to always be SSS to me. And to this town, actually both these towns. The support that these towns get for this school has always been astounding to me. I didn't realize it until I joined the foundation board and the alumni board. The hundreds of thousands of dollars given, the hundreds of thousands of hours of volunteer work, the care and the nurturing of this organization, this unique organization in the country, is pretty amazing to me. The sheer spirit of people like Claire Blickery, Jerry Olson, John Richmond have always been the fuel in the tank of this unique organization. This is not a big town, not a big school, not a big budget, but a very big deal to everyone who lives here and to everyone who ever went to school here. I've met many NDSCS graduates over my life, and not a single one has ever said a bad thing about this community or about this college, even those who were arrested at Woodsies by the Wahpeton Police Department. People remember you here. And even if you went here long ago, it's really some kind of town. Most of all, I'm grateful to Wahpeton and NDSS, Ed, Cliff, all of you who brought me here. On that first day of school, a cute little blonde girl named Joni Wickline was working at what we called the frat, the cafeteria, in the basement of Birch Hall. And I was just smitten that first day. I met her. I wouldn't have kissed her on our first date on the levee at Chankappa Park. I wouldn't have walked her to the Dairy Queen dozens of times just to kiss her again. I met the love of my life that day, the mother of our kids, the best person possible for me, and been blessed with relationships with her family and many of their friends, like Judy, Barbie, Micker, Johnny, Teresa, David, and of course, John and Carol, their parents. People like Gary Rogers and the whole Casper's family, they're treasured friends to us. All of these people shaped our lives and carved our course. Joni and I got married the same day I graduated from science school. I figured I'd be dead at 21. This is the best girl I'm ever going to find, and so we got married. We will have been married 49 years on May 29th of 2018. Look at her. She's still beautiful. She's funny. She became a wonderful mother, a husband trainer, and a friend. Without Wahpeton and NDSCS, there would be no John, no Jenny, no Isabel, no Matt, no Jack, no Rosemary, no Millie, no amazing Frankie, and Joey, our little clone of Opie Taylor, and no Aubrey. There wouldn't have been a company called Engineering Repro or any of the wonderful experiences of our lives. It was just 2 years of a young man's life, but like compounding interest, it just kept growing, filling up with wonderful friends and experiences and blessings. I want to thank you all for honoring me. I am truly honored. I love this organization, and I hope all of the blessings in the world come to you as they have to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Gary, and congratulations. We believe in sharing. Sharing her time and talent and treasures has been a lifelong passion for our parade grand marshal, Margaret Wall. Margaret was a key member of the NDSCS faculty and shared her knowledge and talents by developing the first curriculum for the office administration internship program. This program became the model for many other internship programs on campus. In 1994, she shared this knowledge as coordinator of the co-op program on campus, and then in 2002, on to the Dean of Extended Learning. She is now sharing her time after retirement by serving on the Alumni Foundation Board, a Rotarian, a member of the Alpha Delta Kappa, and a volunteer extraordinaire. There is no doubt that Margaret will lead us as she always has and continue to share her talents. Congratulations to our Parade Grand Marshal, Margaret Wall.
Thank you, Kim, for that very nice introduction. It is truly an honor to be here this evening among the sponsors and homecoming honorees and to receive the Parade Grand Marshal Award from the Alumni Foundation. Being selected for this award is very humbling, especially when I look at the list of previous recipients. With any award, there are a lot of individuals who help you to get to that point. I would like to take this opportunity, first of all, to thank my family for their support. Because of their support, I was able to grow professionally. My son Jed is here this evening. Jed lives in Wahpeton, works for Legend Seed, and is a 2000 NDSCS grad from our Ag Sales and Service program. If you would stand and be recognized. My daughter Autumn, her husband Travis, and my 5 grandchildren are unable to be here this evening as they also have homecoming activities. My husband John was my biggest cheerleader. I like to think that he is proudly smiling and looking down on us this evening. I'd like to also thank my former colleagues. It is said that the difference between success and failure is being part of a great team. I was fortunate to work with many talented individuals who were truly team players. Reflecting on my tenure here at NDSCS, working in various positions was rewarding and challenging. Each had its plus and minuses. I was hired in the secretarial department of the business division in 1974. As an instructor, working with and watching students grow was very rewarding. My position in career services as the cooperative education coordinator was my happy position. Academic departments were happy to have an individual to work with their first-year students in securing summer employment. Employers were happy to have that option. Students were even happier when they found a position, and a bonus was they were able to apply what they learned in the classroom. And their parents were even happier when their son or daughter would not be in the basement, but would be employed and getting experience in their field. My most challenging position was the distance education director. In this position, I was tasked with the leadership of offering programs and courses at a distance that included online or web-based instruction, dual credit, and instruction taught at distance sites such as Fargo. Because of these efforts, and let me tell you, I had a lot of help from many colleagues, today's student at NDSCS has many options for taking courses. My last position on our campus was the Dean of Extended Learning. The Extended Learning Division was a new division which consisted of distance ed instructional technology, and the library. Because of the staff in those departments, we quickly became a strong division. They were team players who believed in working for the betterment of the division and the college. When I retired in 2013, I was asked to become part of the Alumni Foundation Board. I'm pleased to serve on that board and to continue my affiliation with the college. As a member of that board, I would like to take the opportunity to congratulate our other honorees and to thank them for their support of our campus and our college. And again, thank you to the Alumni Foundation for this award.
Thank you, Margaret, and congratulations. We believe, as the dictionary says, connection is defined as a relationship in which a person, thing, or an idea is linked or associated with something else. Janet and Wayne Baker started their connection with NDSCS as members in this community. Wayne worked in the roofing and sheet metal industry his entire life. Janet was a stay-at-home mom, nurturing 6 children and being connected in the community by volunteering her time. One of those volunteer times was becoming involved in the NDSCS by helping with fall registration. Before any of her children even graduated from high school, she was doing this. That is where she entertained the thought and made a pact to herself that all of her children would attend college and continue 2 more years right next door here at home. That connection did lead all 6 children, Brad, Beth, Benet, Karen, Carla, and Benita, to all attend NDSCS, along with 4 of their spouses. Thank you, Janet, for having a vision and building on your connection in the community to ensure your children had a great start in their education. Congratulations to the Baker family on being awarded the Tradition Award. Janet, you want to come up here and get the award? Karen? Karen is going to speak on behalf of the family.
I would like to thank everybody for inviting us to this. This is a great honor to be chosen as the NDS Family Tradition Family of the Year. Gary, I can't compete with you. My speech will not be like yours. NDSCS has been a great 2-year college that isn't so big and overwhelming, and if you don't know what you want to do, it's a great way to start. For us 6 kids, it worked out pretty well. We were all in this area, and like I said, Mom wanted us to all have some college education, and she started out working here as in the financial office and helping during registration. The placement rate here is 98%, which is awesome. 3 of the kids moved away after we were done with college and to places such as Nebraska, California, and Washington. And I don't think that they would have been able to find some of that had they not been able to have the help of the placement office here. My kids alone are getting done with college, and they're working on finding their jobs out there right now too. So it's not as easy as what they thought it would be. And the 3 that left, the other 3 that were left at home, they must have wanted just to get away from the rest of us because they didn't take very long to get away. I think we all had a great experience here at our college. There was always sports-related activities going on. There was somebody that was probably a member of a student council or an ambassador. Co-ed sports, we were always involved in something like that. And we got to meet many friends, even the instructors. Some of them after they left from college, came back, and they even looked up those instructors, which to me speaks a lot for them to come back and be able to touch base with them. The events that are still going on to these days, like the homecoming and all the activities that even go on like this week, is still been going on for how many years? And that's a great, great aspect of NDSCS. I think that some of us had left the impression, or some of our instructors that have left impressions on us. I think if we were to go around to any of us kids and say, is there somebody that you could name right offhand of who left an impression on you? I think each one of us kids could name somebody. For me, I was in the, not medical records, but I was in the general office department. And I had Margaret Wall as one of my instructors, along with Dolly Robertus. And those two actually did leave quite an impression on me. So when I see her here tonight, I'm thinking, she hasn't changed a bit. Me living around this area and being married to a farmer who is not here tonight because he's out in the field, we are able to attend some of the activities that go on here. So we've been to the Dreams Auction. We're able to take in some of the games, football games, other activities. And I think that this is a great opportunity for our area in our town to have a two-year college that we have. As Dr. Richmond had stated in his video that's on the website, and I did look at it, NDSCS is a two-year college with a four-year feel. And I think that's a great way to put it. We are very fortunate to have a wonderful two-year technical college with a variety of options to choose from. So thank you, Science School, for all the opportunities that we've had.
We believe development is a key to success. When we think of developing a talent or developing a lifelong career, for those that know her, we would naturally think of our Wildcat of the Year, Maria Kaduk. Maria is the heart of developing our young adults attending NDSCS. Coming from Czechoslovakia in 1984, she knows all too well the challenges of coming to a new country, learning a new language, starting a new job, understanding a different culture, and taking those challenges and developing a positive, successful life. If you go back over the years and visit with many students Maria has helped along the way, you would hear the same thing. She made a difference for me. She helped me develop confidence, skills, love for learning, and most importantly, developed a positive path for my life. The reason she was chosen as Wildcat of the Year is because of her true Wildcat spirit and love for teaching. We are proud to have you, Maria, as our Wildcat of the Year. Congratulations.
I will try to be as quick as possible because my translator, Tom, refused to come over and translate for me. Tom, would you come over, please? Well, Tom doesn't want to come. Would you please encourage him to come over and help me? Come on, baby. Okay. What? No, I'm going to speak Slovak. Chcela by som všetkým vám tu veľmi pekne poďakovať za to, že ste ma zvolili za Catbacker of the Year.
I think what she's trying to say is that she's very delighted to be given this prestigious honor of being the Catbacker of the Year.
Good job. It is very rewarding for me to be nominated for the for Cutbacker of the Year because I am doing what I love to do. I work with. What am I talking about? I'm supposed to speak in Slovak. Sorry.
You go ahead.
No, no, no,
I'll
no,
just stand right
no,
here.
no, no, no.
You just go right.
Okay, so you can continue now.
You go ahead. You go ahead. You're good. I got you.
No, you can continue. Tell them.
She loves working directly with the students. I think that is the most important part of what she does on a daily basis.
Viete, že som prišla z Československa a zo začiatku bolo veľmi ťažké pre mňa naučiť sa jazyk. Vďaka, my tu máme Tom Sharma's family, tí mi pomohli zo začiatku a potom som mala veľa pomoci od ďalších ľudí.
It was a very difficult time coming to the United States, not really knowing exactly what she was going to do. It was very important for her to meet a family like Tom Sharma and his family. I'm very grateful for their friendship and all that they have done for her in her time in Wahpeton.
And now I was speaking English, but you can stay with me. As you can see, I did a pretty good job with Tommy. Tommy was one of my students years back, 2004, 2005. If you will meet him then he had long hair. I have a picture. I was going to enlarge the picture and bring it here, but it didn't work out very well. So now, seriously, I am very honored and delighted to be named the Cutbacker of the Year. And that is the reason what like I said before, I am doing what I love to do. I am working with students. And working with students who are sharing their problems, troubles, personal issues, also their successes, triumphs on a football field or basketball, volleyball floors, but also, to me, the most importantly, when they are sharing everything, what is happening in the classroom is so important. If we can touch them, bring them in, and persuade them that they can do it, we won the game. Many of these students from the beginning are very scared to share their stories. But later on, they understand that we are there for them. We are here to assist them. We are here to push them, encourage them. Many times we hear the same thing over and over. Miss, you believe more in me than I believe in myself. I am very fortunate to work with a group of people at Academic Services Center, and I believe I started there in 1990, 4 years after I tried to learn English language. And since then, I enjoy working with those students so much. I believe it was in 2005, I became a director of Academic Services Center. I replaced my mentor, René Mon. Many of you probably remember René Mon. René, Carol Lee, Doris Brush, all those ladies, they were like mothers to me. They supported me, they encouraged me, and they believed in me. And that was very important. I believe that without them, I would not be standing here today. I forgot to mention my colleagues at Academic Services Center. See, I'm so nervous now. I forgot about them. What we have had in Academic Services Center was great collaboration and teamwork. The faculty who were teaching developmental classes, they observed the needs of students, then they came to me and I called those students in. We visited and they told me about their needs. special needs. For example, many of them had IEP in high school and have no idea that they can get services here. So because of the great teamwork, we were able to reach out to many, many students. And I completely forgot to, when I was listening to previous speakers, I completely forgot to talk about my own family. I have 2 sons, and when I was learning English, I had really difficult time, so I was bringing to class recording some of the classes, came home, listened to the lecture, and I still didn't understand. So my older son, who was about 8 years old, I was taking political science class, and I had no idea what the professor was talking about. And I was sick and tired of listening to the tape. Then finally, my son and the faculty got together. He explained to my son everything in English. My son explained it to me in Slovak. And finally, I was able to comprehend and do well. So thanks to them, I am also here. At the end, I would like to thank you, all the students I met through my tenure here at NDSCS, to all my colleagues, especially those who work at Academic Services Center, for putting up with me and always forgiving me when I forgot something. I learned so much from all these people, from the students, from faculty, from my colleagues, and I'm very thankful for that. At the end, I would like to thank them and also all of you here for naming me a Cadbacker of the Year. Thank you.
Thanks, Maria. Gary, did you have a Maria in your day? No. Yeah, you should have had Maria. You'd have. We believe this year's Friend of the College Award, Bell Banks and Bell Bank Wealth Management, is deserving because of their efforts to help the foundation become a viable, sustainable organization. Bell Banks has been a huge part of supporting NDSCS since it came to the Wapton community. They started as Dreams Auction donors, leading to Foundation Club members, Business Expo, Youth Entrepreneurship Scholarships, NDSCS Foundation Scholarship, Athletic Donor, NDSCS Leadership Program Endowment participants, Foundation Board members, Arizona Meet and Greet sponsors, and most importantly, friends of the college. Their commitment to the college and the Bell Wealth Management commitment to the foundation helps sustain our efforts to be the key fundraising source to NDSCS. Thank you to all that are in attendance this evening, as well as all the employees that didn't get to attend tonight. I know there's a number of them that wanted to be here and couldn't be. Congratulations. We truly appreciate your support. Bell Banks and Bell Bank Wealth Management. That's a mouthful. Rick?
Good evening. My name is Rick Steckler. I'm president of Bell Banks in Wapton and Breckenridge. Certainly first of all, my congratulations to all the previous award winners. One of the challenges you have when you're towards the end of awards presentation like this is the bar gets set pretty high. So I'm not going to keep you in suspense. I'm going to lower that bar just a little bit right now. But before I begin with my comments, there's some friends I brought with me that I'd like to introduce that I have the privilege of working with each and every day, and they deserve credit for this award also. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Brad Bakken. Brad is a financial advisor with Bell Investments. Kelly Hubrig. Now, Kelly wears two hats for our organization. Kelly is an ag and business banker on the bank side, but he's also a financial advisor for Bell Investments. So, Kelly. And I got to tell you, there's many days when Kelly wears those two hats at the same time, and how he does it, I have no idea, but you'll have to ask him about that later on. Also with us this evening is Amy Cookman. Amy works for Bell Investments in Wahpeton, and she has the most difficult job because she has to keep Kelly and Brad in line from day to day. We also have with us Darcy Egan. Darcy is also a business and ag banker at Bell Bank. And last but not least, Matt Bouchard. Matt is a financial advisor with Bell Wealth Management. As I was preparing my comments for this evening, there was one word or one term that I kept coming back to, and that was friends. Now, some of us this weekend are going to be making new friends, but a lot of us, or most of us, are going to be reacquainted with a lot of old friends. And I know if I asked each one of you to give me your definition of the word friend, you'd all would have a very meaningful but a very unique definition, and it would all be true, it would all be correct. But I still wondered, what is the standard definition of the word friend? So I did what most people do nowadays. I Googled the word friend, and unfortunately, about 4,568 websites popped up with the word friend in it. But here's the standard definition of the word friend. A friend is a person you know, you like, and you trust. A friend is a person who is an ally in a struggle or a cause with you. A friend is a person who supports, sympathizes, and patronizes a group or a movement with you. As I thought about those definitions, I thought it really captured the relationship that Bell has with the college and the Alumni Foundation. And here's why. Number one, we get to work with all the people or all the staff of the college and all the staff of the Alumni Foundation. We get to work with many of the Alumni Foundation board members. And we've come to really, really like those people. And we've come to respect those people, and those people we really, really trust in what they do. Second of all, we've all come together as allies for a common cause, and that's for the betterment of the college and the Alumni Foundation. And lastly, as a group, we've come to support and patronize the college and the foundation to try to lift it to that next level. Now, earlier, Kim had mentioned some of the extras that we do for the college, that Bell Bank does for the college, besides managing its endowment fund. I want to clarify a few things on why we do those extras for the college and the Alumni Foundation. We do those extras not because we have your typical bank and client relationship with the college and foundation. We do those extra things for the college and the Alumni Foundation because that's what friends do for friends. So Dr. Richmond, Kim, Tim, Alumni Foundation members and staff, on behalf of Bell Bank and Bell Wealth Management, we are extremely honored and feel very, very privileged to be called your friend. I want to thank you for this award. I hope you all have a very friend-filled weekend.
Thank you, Rick, and congratulations, Bell Bank. We believe to serve is one of the greatest characteristics a person can have. Kevin Bauer, our Commitment to Excellence Award winner, truly exemplifies that trait. Kevin is the guy you never see. He has served as the sound and lights guy for many, many events here on campus. He has been that person since 1988 as a student. We all know the magic of lights, sound, and action does not happen automatically. It takes dedication, skill, and commitment to make it work. Kevin serves NDSCS in a role not many of us would do, by giving up his evenings and his weekends to make sure events that take place here at NDSCS are done with perfection. Kevin, congratulations. You truly exemplify commitment to excellence by your actions and always ready to serve. Kevin, congratulations.
I'm never on this side of the podium. Only thing I know how to do on this side is mic check. So, I'm going to introduce my wife, Holly, my daughter, Joelle. We're going to make this short. Thank you to the foundation for this honor. Thank you.
At this time, Tim, I'm going to have you come up and help me here. At this time, I'd like to take the opportunity to recognize people that are celebrating their anniversary year from NDSSS and NDSCS. The following people are celebrating anywhere from 20 to 65 years since the time they graduated from NDSSS or NDSCS. We appreciate you coming back for homecoming and hope the memories you are experiencing will leave a great impression of your college. As I call your name, I'd like you to come forward. I'm going to, yeah, you want to take, okay, just put them on the table by Brad there. You want to just go down by Brad, and then you don't have to go up and down. As I call your name, I'd like you to come forward, and Tim will present you with a certificate and a pin congratulating on your year. If they're not here, some of them are being honored tomorrow night at the Hall of Fame, so we'll make sure they get their certificates tomorrow night. Willie Wilson is 20 years. I don't think he's here tonight. Bonita Kenman, 25 years. Come on up, Bonita. That's you. Carla Schumacher, 30 years. See, the Baker family really did graduate from here. Ivan Moss, 35 years. He's coming. Roger Huberman, 35 years. He didn't make it. Delane Podensky, 35 years. I could have said what they're each in. Penny Fleckenstein, 35 years. She's not here? Okay. Kim Baker, 35 years. Gary Williams, 45 years. I thought he was here. Mike Neppel, 45 years. Stephen Tompkins, 50 years. He's still here? This next one, we're going to honor 50 years. This gentleman was here last year, but like 2 days after homecoming, and they came on a visit. And when they realized they missed homecoming, they made an effort to make sure they got back here this year. So we're going to give him his 50-year pin right now. Jim Converse from Iowa. The next one, Mary Bredvik, 60 years. Woo! Tim, just stay here so he can take a picture. So we get a good picture. Mary drove in from Bismarck to make sure she was here for 60 years and connected up with an old friend that lives in the community. And Ed's not here, right? And then Ed Ulick was the other one, 65 years. Thank you. We believe the people that touch our lives along the way, and these moments in time, make a difference to who we become. Since Dr. Seuss was our theme in our office this week, I want to leave you with a Dr. Seuss quote. Today you are you, that is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you. Thank you for being with us. I now have the honor of introducing our president of the North Dakota State College of Science, Dr. John Richmond. Do you want to take that off?
Thank you, Kim. Good evening, everyone. Really, you're that tired. Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I want to congratulate all of the honorees tonight. Let's give them a round of applause. Rick, you talk about friends, we talk about family. The honorees tonight are family. You've been part of us. Some of you still are part of us. It's amazing that this institution has the family culture bred throughout it for 60 years or however long you've been here. So congratulations to all of you. Very deserving. It is our opportunity, it is our time to thank you for what you have done for this institution. And you have all impacted it in different ways at different times. So thank you. It's been a tremendous honor to have you here this evening. Second, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge Kim Nelson, our foundation staff. Stand up. And last but not least, our foundation board members. Please stand. And remain standing. We've been in existence for 115 years, correct? This is our 115th year. I have been affiliated with this institution for 43% of that time. Tells you two things. I can do math and I'm really old. But I have had the opportunity to witness the foundation. From the Caspers to the Bars to the Nelson. I've seen foundation board members come. I've seen foundation board members go. I am standing before you today to tell you that your foundation has never been stronger. Your foundation has never been in the fiscal position, the strong fiscal position that it is today. And it is thanks to our past leadership, our current leadership, Kelly, Bob, our current president, our current vice president, Bob Getty, thank you for what you're doing to assist and support our great institution. It is very well done and it is very well appreciated. Thank you. See, Kim didn't think I was going to say this, okay? Our portfolio, there's two parts of it. An endowment that Bell manages for us, and thanks to your efforts, our endowment has never been larger. Thanks to a lot of your donations, our foundation has never been larger. When you look at our total portfolio, from the endowment to our checking account to the land that we own, we set well over with a portfolio of $20 million today. Congratulations again to our foundation. I'm going to touch on a few things, but what I want you to do is to be thinking of the questions. What question do you have that you need to know about your college? And when I've concluded my real brief remarks here, I'll be happy to take any questions that you have so you can better understand where your institution is today. So enrollment, common question. When I was a football coach, common question was, how's recruiting? Well, every question every day I get is, how's enrollment? Enrollment is stable. We have been at a 3,000 head count consistently for 6 years. Slightly above, slightly below, but right at that 3,000 mark. The difference is, back when some of us went to school here, and I went to school here in 71 and 2, back when we were here, all of us were here in Wapton, walking up and down the sidewalk, walking to St. John's, okay? We were all right here. Modern technology, and because of the convenience of the students and their desires, we've diversified our delivery method. Harvey Link, Margaret Wall led us into that realm, that era of distance delivery, multiple ways to do it. So when you look at our 3,000, the quick numbers, 1,700 are right here in Wahpeton. 1,000 of that 1,700 are living on our campus. 650 online students now, Margaret. 650. 700 high school students taking our college courses while they're still in high school. 400 students in Fargo. Multiple ways that we deliver the same education, Gary, that you got. We just do it in a different way today. So our enrollment is strong, very strong, and it looks positive as we go forward. Financial position. We talked about the financial strength of the institution, or of the foundation. So how's the financial strength of the institution? If you're from North Dakota, you understand what we went through last year. It's what we've coined here as the Great Reduction. Last year, we took a significant reduction from the state revenue that they gave us. Hard times in the state of North Dakota. Still pretty good, but different. We're through that Great Reduction. We strengthened our physical position. Believe this or not, we strengthened our physical position in a year that we reduced our overall operating budget by more than 20%. We've never been in a stronger fiscal position as an institution than we are today. That is the thanks to our administration, our faculty, and our staff to understand that priorities had to be made and tough decisions, hard decisions had to be made. But because we went through a process, We communicated that process. We're on the back end of that process now. And where we find ourselves today, fiscally strong, we're in an era of transition. Think of an organization, 300 full-time employees, 350 part-time employees, an annual operating budget of somewhere around 50 million. Think of operating that with 14% less of your employees. That's what we're operating today. All the work that we did before the Great Reduction and even greater work today has to be done with fewer people. We've created plans, new operational plans. We've implemented those plans, and we're in the period of time to see if those plans that we've laid out are working. So far, so good. It's going to take us a year to get adjusted to the new way that we're operating. But we are very fiscally sound. I want to talk about the project. This morning we did a ribbon cutting to celebrate the conclusion of a little over $13 million infrastructure project that we've been in the last 2 years on campus. 5 miles of pipe, water lines, sewer lines, storm lines, 5 miles of pipe was replaced. Most of that pipe was underneath our sidewalks, our roads, our parking lots. Those of us that live around here understood how bad some of those roads and parking lots were. So we have totally refaced the entire campus from the north end to the south end. Took us 2 years to do that. This morning we celebrated the conclusion of that project. The project was designed to increase safety. We increased pedestrian walkways, we increased lighting and security for the safety of our students and employees and our visitors to campus. We certainly took care of our infrastructure, and we also were able to beautify the campus. The monuments on the south end of the Oval or on the east end on 4th Street, I believe, are beautiful. A lot of planning went into that, a lot of work went into that, and a lot of adjustments during that 2 years, if you can think of that. Every single building had to have power shut off, water shut off, and hooked back up sometime during that 2-year process. But I think I can sit before you today, stand before you today, and tell you your college is one of, if not the best, safest, cleanest, healthiest educational environment for students to attend, not just in North Dakota, but in the country. Some very brief accomplishments. We just recently went through a nursing accreditation. The exit meeting that Harvey and I were part of, the site team gave our nursing programs a clean bill of health and continued its accreditation. Our nursing program still has consistently 100% pass rates on their students taking the national license exam in nursing. Our John Deere students go into a national competition with the other 20-some John Deere programs, and our students in our John Deere program consistently come out with a 1, 2, or a 3 in their team events, year in and year out. Thank you, Terry. And last but not least, some of you may be aware of the national competitions called Skills USA. It's for both high school and for college students. We send our student body down, our teams down in various academic areas. We have had national place winners in recent years in culinary arts, manufacturing, small engines. We take our students from North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, Montana, put them on a national stage in front of thousands of other students to compete against, and we consistently have winning national teams in the Skills USA, something that we are very proud of. Someone earlier mentioned our placement rate. Okay? As I said, I've been here a long time. I have seen our placement rate have an extremely large variance. Our placement rate that I know of has been anywhere from 98% to 99%. Seriously. That you can count on every year. Not bad. Some years, you know, the marketing crew and the institutional effectiveness crew, some years that 99 is actually 99.6 or 7, and I'm going, round it up. They won't let me say 100% some years. When you look at what we really should be judged at or judged on, too much of it is placed on enrollment. People want, you know, like I said, it's always about enrollment. That's not what we do. Okay? What we do is develop people. What we do is educate and train a workforce. That's what we should be measured on. And when you look at our retention rate, our persistence rate, which is fall enrollment to spring enrollment, when you look at our retention rate, which is fall enrollment to fall enrollment, and then you look at our graduation rate, and you take our numbers and compare them to other two-year colleges across the country, ours far, far, far out exceed any of the national comparisons, and we are at the top of those rates, and that is what I am most proud of, and that is what I wish more people would understand, how well our faculty and our staff do at retaining and graduating students that go to work in this region. It is an honor to lead your institution. All right, let's open it up to questions. What do you want to know about your college? Gary, why am I not surprised? Okay. Right. So Gary's question is, with the availability of financial aid to pay for a lot of the college experience and the workforce issues that exist, at least in this region, Minnesota, South Dakota, and North Dakota, why don't we have 4,000 students? It's an excellent question. There's a lot of theories about it, okay? Here's my take, okay? And this is John Richmond, all right? For too many years in this country, we have told our people, and particularly in North Dakota, our young people, you have to go and get a baccalaureate degree. You have to move out of the state of North Dakota to Chicago, Minneapolis, or Denver. And if you don't do those things, you will not be successful. The American culture has devalued the technician. What I hear, it's okay for your son to be the plumber, but my son is going to be the doctor. Every study that we look at will tell you the employment ratio is this. It's called 1 to 2 to 7. For every professional degree requiring a master's or higher, we need 1. To support that 1, we need 2 with a baccalaureate degree. To support that, we need 7 with an associate degree level of education or less. Think of that. 1 to 2 to 7. But yet we have a shortage. When I was in Lebanon, Indiana, I took wood shop, metal shop, electrical shop, one other. Okay? I walked back into that high school today, nothing like that is offered. We devalued it. We said we had to produce the 4-year graduate. We have to change that culture. And I believe we are seeing a change in that culture, Gary. Guys like that I admire, Mike Rowe. Anyone ever watch Dirty Jobs? One of my favorite shows. Okay. dirty jobs. Mike Rowe, he understands that today's economy, if we are really serious about improving our social economic position today, particularly in our region, it's about the workforce. It's not about the next business. It's not about the next big box store. It's about a qualified, knowledgeable, skillful workforce. So what we're doing to help that, all right? Our effort in Fargo. We've been operating in Fargo for over 20 years. Harvey, Margaret, others started it, okay? 20 years we've been up there educating, training the workforce. Over that 20 years, because the workforce, the companies came to us and said, we need more of your types of academic programs. We added welding, we added nursing, we added IT, we've got paramedics now offered up there. Our liberal arts transfer is offered up there because the workforce required that. The next step we're attempting to take, the next step we are going to take, is we are collaborating currently with 5 school districts: Moorhead, Fargo, West Fargo, Northern Cass, and Central Cass. Those 5 school districts are working with us to merge, to combine their high school curriculum with our college curriculum. Think of a facility that has wings. The facility, each wing represents an industry. Might be manufacturing here, it might be allied health here, it might be IT there. We're going to bring elementary students into this facility and show them what the careers today are like, tour them around. We're going to bring junior high students into this facility, and they're not just going to see and watch. They're going to get a hands-on project. They're going to get an actual experience with hands-on applied learning. How many of you remember, what we used to say, learn by doing? Remember that motto? Learn by doing, okay? We're going to give that junior high student that experience to understand what it's like to build something, put something together, take something apart. Now, in North Dakota, once they reach that sophomore year, they can start taking our college courses in the same facility that they've gone to for a lot of their high school education. We believe it's a long-term solution. This isn't a quick fix. In the long term, we will introduce more students through career awareness, career exploration, and career pathways that will lead them to those types of jobs that you're talking about, Gary. It's a long answer to your question. You hit a hot button, obviously, for me. Other questions? Okay, 2-year degree. You graduated from science with your 2-year degree, and you did not continue your education beyond that 2-year degree. Is that the question? Okay. Show of hands. 2-year degree only. Wow. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. We recently had a graduate left here as a technician, worked his way through the company, worked his way up into the company, ended up owning the company. Sold it recently for $3 million. Excuse me, $30 million. Other questions? Barth, will the football team win tomorrow? You know, this is what I can tell you. This is what I control, all right? The sun will always shine on the Wildcats. I'm going to turn the mic back to Kim. Again, thank you for being here. Stick around this evening. Stick around for tomorrow. It is an honor to have you all back. My last comment is this. Do we need your help? Yes, we do need your help. Gary, to answer part of your question about how we can get to 4,000 students, this is where we need your help. Tell your story. Tell the Baker story, okay? Tell the story about why you came to NDSCS, what you did when you were at NDSCS, what you've accomplished with your degree from NDSCS. Tell that story. Be proud to be a Wildcat. Tell your grandchildren, tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell your ex-wife, I don't care. We have some of the most successful people that have gone through here, but we're kind of Norwegian-ish, okay? We don't tell our story. We need to tell that story. Encourage them to come and look at us. The second thing we can use your help with, financially, certainly. And at some point in your life, you will have your family situation, your financial situation, where you are comfortable. And when you reach that point and you're looking to do something with your wealth, call Kim. Okay? Call Kim and we will help you direct your funds to your passion. It might be secretarial, it might be manufacturing, it might be nursing, it might be a student scholarship. We'll help you connect your finances with your passion here at NDSCS. It's an honor to serve as your president. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. As he said, I do thank you all for being here in attendance this evening. It has been a wonderful, wonderful time meeting many of you. I hope over the weekend I get a chance to visit with more of you. We want you to stay, socialize. We're here till, I don't know what time Ziggy will kick us out, midnight maybe. But the bar is open, cash bar, help yourselves. Stay around, visit. Award winners, we do want a special picture out in the hallway. Jim's telling me where to go. So if you're an award winner, we want you to take your award and head for the hallway to have that picture taken. Thank you.